Today I flew into Pine Ridge Logging and we have the goal to make millions of dollars in the mulching business. I start out with an old rusty pickup truck, a Volvo tractor, and a nice wood chipper. However, our goal is to upgrade to the brand new Wood Chipper 6000. So let's head on over and check out the logging site. Okay guys, we are making our landing at Pinewood Lake, and this is where we're going to start our new mulch business. But there is one twist. We are starting with $0 in our pocket and all the equipment we have right in front of us. So we have to turn it into a multi-million-dollar business within the next 10 episodes. So as you guys can see, we've got a Volvo tractor. This thing is old. It cost $3,000. We spent the last bit of money we had, and it comes with a conveyor, and then also it's a wood chipper. So that way we can actually start the mulch business. So we're going to turn them into wood chips, all the logs that we cut down with our chainsaw here. We got a nice steel chainsaw, and that's how we're going to get trees cut down, and then we'll load in the wood chips to the back of the farm tech trailer with our old rusted Dodge Ram 250. It's got a Cummins, so it should do pretty well, but as you can see, it needs some paint work pretty bad. So check this out. Over in this area is where we're going to sell all of our wood chips at, and this will generate revenue for the wood chip business. And like I said, we're going towards the goal of making $3 million. So if we can make that, we can afford to buy new equipment, including a new wood chipper and some big logging equipment. So guys, I think we should go start out at our new zone that we can cut down trees at and turn into wood chips. So we're going to drive all the equipment on over there, starting with the truck. This thing is actually not bad. It's in pretty decent condition for what we need to get done. So we're going to drive on over there with this thing, get it set up, and then the tractor will be next, and we'll officially be cutting down some trees to start the new mulch business. So guys, I really want to turn this into an awesome series. If you could help me out by hitting the thumbs up button, we'll continue making this thing into a full-on business and hopefully one day make millions of dollars. So help me out by dropping a thumbs up down below. All right, well, I'm going to see you guys when we get to the location where we're going to set up for cutting down some trees, and then we'll go grab the tractor to get to work. Okay guys, we're getting close. We're going across the bridge right here. The tide is pretty high. As you can see, there's water on the bridge, but this is the location we're cutting trees down right next to the water. I wanted to be cool in the summertime, and it's still a little cold out, so we should be okay. But yeah, when it gets hot in the summertime, I want to make sure we got water nearby, and this should work out pretty good. So as you can see, we've got about the next 2 acres of land that we have approved for cutting trees down. These are perfect trees. As you can see, they're not too crazy, and we should have to make sure we're doing all the proper precautions, like cutting them down in the right direction and so forth. So let's go grab the tractor, and then we can get to work cutting down some trees. All right, we'll be back to this location. This is the main base where we sell everything. We could also turn logs into planks if we want, but we're sticking to mulch. That's the most profitable right now, because in the springtime, people want mulch for their houses and stuff, so works out pretty good. This tractor's not bad. It's a little old, obviously, not too ancient, but it's got some new wheels on it. As you can see, they're not in bad condition. A little muddy, but that's all right. The Volvo BM, they call this a 2654, so very antique, and it's actually got air. So yeah, we'll stay cool in the summertime. I'm not sure how that works, but I would guess it probably works decently. We've got our hydraulic controls here. We've got our gear control right here. Oh, let's make sure we're steering on the trails here. Turn signal, really not much else. Got all of our oil pressures and everything. This thing's running pretty good right now. I haven't had any issues. The goal is to not have any equipment breakdown. If the equipment breaks down, that's going to cut into our cost, and we're going to have to take money out or potentially a loan, which we don't want to do. So, all right, guys, I'll see you when we're getting to work, cutting down some trees. All right, boys, I made it across the bridge. So we have everything here that we need to set up the base, and we're not really going to be setting up much. We're sleeping in the truck for the first few nights, and let's get this thing all ready to go. So how I get it positioned is you have to unfold it, obviously. The conveyor belt folds out into about 8 feet long, and then we can position it to line up with the back of the truck, and let's just make sure it's set up because we're going to be losing some wood chips. All right, looks good right about there. So we're going to first fire up the wood chipper, and the conveyor runs with that, so everything's good to go. I am going to turn off the truck so we save some fuel. This thing runs on PTO, as you can see, so it's going to burn a little bit of diesel. We're going to have some fuel costs accounted for. Let's go ahead. We're going to grab our chainsaw out of the truck. All right, got this thing fired up. So the steel chainsaw, best chainsaw in the game. All right, let's go ahead. I think this tree is a good one to start. We're going to try and clear around this area, so eventually I can build in a nice gravel pad for our parking for vehicles and main base. All right, looks pretty good. It should fall that way. All right, we almost missed it there. So as you can see, we cut in the wrong direction. We're learning day one, remember. So if we cut in this direction, the trees will fall that way. All right, we're learning slowly but surely here. So let's go ahead. We're going to trim up all these excess little branches. They don't really give us much yield for the wood chips. It really doesn't have good moisture levels. You want to get the main log, and then that's where you want to create the wood chips with. So that'll have a nice mulch texture, and it won't be just a bunch of dried wood chips. All right, we got these things trimmed cleaned up. So we're able to cut some logs now, and then we'll feed these things into the back of the wood chipper. We'll start with 3. I think that's a good number to start with here. Man, it's going to be nice when we have some big equipment to get this job done, because we are carrying small logs independently right now. And then once, oh, okay, let's see what it did. Oh my gosh, where did it go? Oh, there it is. Okay, it's coming out the conveyor here. Check it out. We got some wood chips, boys. All right, so that's 1 log's worth. But yeah, like I was saying, it's going to be nice when we get some large equipment, and then we can start the mulch business on a large scale with our own lot, excavators, everything. That'd be pretty cool. So all right, let's see what this second log does damage wise. All right, there it goes. Look at this, boys. We are almost making money. We still got to pay off some of our vehicle costs, and we got to make money to keep the business running. So I'd say if we can cut down 5 trees today, we'll see how much money we can make. Might be able to fill this thing. The goal is to fill this entire trailer for the first day here. So all right, let's see what the third log can do. Or that was the third log. Let's see. Let's cut the rest of this thing up, and we'll see how full the trailer is. All right, we got this whole thing chopped up. So we're gonna grab all the logs we've got, and we're gonna see what this thing can do trailer wise. 1 full tree hopefully at least fills up maybe a quarter of this thing. That'd be nice. So that would be 4 full trees, or 5 ones we need to cut down today to get our first sale trailer. So all right, I'm gonna get the rest of these logs through the wood chipper, and I'll check in with you guys when we get some more updated statistics on the trailer level. Okay guys, I'm down to the last 2 logs, so we're gonna be able to see what this full tree, how much it filled up in wood chips worth of our trailer. So all right, last one, there we are. Let's see. Oh, actually we do have a pretty good amount of space left. I would say maybe 5 trees will have a full trailer. It's definitely gonna take a few trees, so we're gonna leave that stump for now. I don't have the proper equipment or stump grinder. We are gonna buy one for the tractor, but all right, let's go for the next 3 trees. What are we gonna go for? I would say we're gonna go for these ones in this section because they're all right next to each other. Makes it easy. We'll move the tractor. I actually learned we're gonna actually cut less with the chainsaw, leave a little bit more space. I can lift them, so as long as the shredder can handle it, a log shredder, look at that thing, so it can fit a pretty good sized log and maybe about 6 feet. So let's make sure we're not cutting too much here because these are big trees and they took a while to cut down. So all right, I'm gonna get these things prepped like we know. We're gonna go ahead, cut on this angle. It should fall towards the right side. Let's test it. All right, that's tree cutting 101. This one's a pretty good size, but it's a different type of wood. That's okay. It actually is good for wood chips because it kind of mixes the textures up. All right, this one's falling that way onto those trees probably. All right, that's okay. I cut it the wrong way, didn't I? Here we go. Timber, here we go, boys. Oh my gosh, that's a big one. All right, that's gonna be good wood. It's a different type. I mean, look at these things. It's kind of cool. All right, this is the 4th one we're cutting down. It's coming down, boys. Oh geez, that's the biggest one of the 4. All right, we got some trees to cut up here, so I'm gonna get to work, and I'll check in with you guys when we get our first log. I think I'm literally gonna leave this whole section I can carry up until about here. So let's go test and see if this thing can handle it. I'm pretty sure it can, but there we go. Let's bring this thing over there. I'm just dragging it. All right, this is about 2 to 3 times as big as the last one. Oh, okay, it started chopping it up there. Oh, look at that. Okay, so it's getting fed through. If we have like any skinnier logs, it actually works a lot better because we could leave it all the way over there. Obviously a lot lighter, easier for the machine to handle. But all right, we're filling up pretty quick here. So let's bring the rest of these things on over. I think this tree type is the ideal one because check this out. It starts right here. I'm gonna cut it all the way down here. This is about a 10-foot log. So let's see if the wood chipper can handle it. Here we go. If we had a little bit of a platform to kind of set these on, that'd be a lot nicer. There we go. We almost have a third of the trailer done. So all right, we're gonna get to work cutting these things up. We've got 4 trees to work on. So when I'm done with almost the last one, we should have a trailer full. Then we'll be able to sell and see what the profit for the day is. So see you guys when we're almost done. All right, boys, we're finally on to the last one. That took a good 25-30 minutes to get those 3 trees cut up, but we do have a good full trailer after this one. So we'll be able to go sell it, and hopefully it's a lot of money worth. I'm not really sure what the going price is for wood chips. I'll have to tell you once we find out. But all right, let's get these things chopped up. This is the last one I saved, and it might be the most difficult because it is around this tree and the branches are pretty good size. So let's try and clean it up. There we go. Looks good. All right, let's start with the front branch, then I'll be able to show you guys the trailer. This should work out pretty good while I show you that. All right, set it down. Okay, gotta try that again. Here we go. All right, look at that. Here's our trailer. Looks pretty good size. Once we get that last tree in, this thing should be full to the brim. So we might take the truck or the tractor. If the tractor's good for staying here, probably the truck's more than capable of handling it. So all right, I'll see you guys when this tree's cut up and in the truck. We've got maybe 7 more cuts to do, and then we'll be ready to roll out for our first sale. All right, the last bit of logs. I think there was a couple other ones over here. Okay, we're clear on that. Just these 2, and then we're done with the 4 trees we cut down for the day. Actually, was that 5? No, 1, 2. Oh, it was 5. Okay, I didn't even know. We got the 3, but I forgot about the little small one we had. That one was the easiest of the day. But yeah, 5 total trees. This is going to take 1 trailer load. There we go. That's a good size one. Oh, I found this mystery log hiding underneath the trailer. It must have missed the wood chipper. There we go. We got some extra credit on that one. And then here's this. There we go. And we had to move the trailer around a little bit to load this thing. As you can see, when you start to pile it up in the center there, it could cause uneven weight transfers. So that's not really good for trailering. But here's the full trailer. I mean, this is about as good as it's going to get. But let's go ahead. We're going to shut down the tractor. There we go. All right, this thing's off. And is the motor still running, or is that shutdown protocol? Oh, there we go. Okay, the fan was spinning for a little bit, but all right, let's jump into Dodge and go see what the money for the day is. I'm very excited. This is the most important thing, because it's going to calculate how much money we need to make, or how many trees we need to cut down to upgrade our equipment. That is the goal. Man, this bridge is pretty cool. I think they just built this, and they're still in process of building some over-the-top guardrails. That way people don't drive off the edge. So that'll be nice, because we're right across the river there. So all right, guys, I'll see you at the sell point, and we'll see how much we're making. All right, the sell point is in sight, boys. So is our helicopter, but we're not able to touch that thing until we become a multi-millionaire in the wood chipping business and the mulch business. So, all right, let's go ahead. This is the sell point. This is where it'll get distributed to the rest of the world. Let's swing this thing around. We'll back it into the center one. Looks good. All right, and let's stop right there. Let's go ahead, hydraulic. There we go. Oh, that's money. Look at this thing go, boys. Okay, that's half, and that was 1,700. All right, and that is a trailer load empty. 3,896 for 5 trees worth. Not bad, I will say. That is pretty good. $4,000 from that tree, and I do think that some really ideal tree types, that'd be good for us, and maybe we can make $5,000 per trailer load. But yeah, I think in order to upgrade the equipment, we're gonna need about $50,000 to $60,000. We can buy a nice new piece of equipment for this thing, and then it'll speed it up. It'll multiply times 10 every time we upgrade equipment. We're gonna 10x this business. So we'll be going from $5,000 trailer loads to $50,000 trailers in a matter of weeks here. So all right, guys, that's day 1 complete for you in the mulching business. If you guys do want to see this series continue and us back at the logging site, help me out and go down below to hit the thumbs up button, guys. Thank you for watching. Subscribe for part 2, and we'll see you in the next one.